Hello and welcome folks to another modern stream. I was looking for something spicy to play for Know Thy Enemy, and I literally found nothing. The only like weird decks are Delver decks. There was a Timur deck that looked somewhat interesting, but meh, I didn't find something that really piqued my interest. So I figured might as well showcase a little bit of a brew that I worked on like 2 or 3 months ago. Maybe it's been a while since I worked on this one, but what we have here is a Lurrus, just straight blue-black control deck. The idea is that you establish, controlling presence, and then eventually you just win through Snapcaster Beats and Lurrus. You have sources of card advantage with Into the Story, Cryptic Command, Archmage's Charm, Snapcaster Mage itself, and then everything else is just discard spells, which we have a couple of Thoughtseize, removal spells with Push, Thirst, Drawing the Lock acts as a pseudo removal, pseudo counter magic, and then Force and Cryptic and Metalik are your remaining counter magic slots. The rest is bubbles, which represent card draw, and of course, we can always get your bubbles back with Lurrus. And then Thought Scours, which we can use on ourselves if we see that the top of our deck doesn't do what we want it to do. Or you can use it on opponents, which is probably like the use number one that we're going to be taking care of in order to enable our Drawing the Locks and Into the Story. As far as the mana base goes, we are super dead to boil. But that's fine. We have Watery Graves, one Sunken Hollow, a bunch of islands, Mystic Sanctuary, one Swamp, and 3 Field of Ruins. Nothing too crazy. Moving on to the sideboard, there's obviously the Lurrus, Archmage's Charm for control mirrors for the combo decks, etc. Another Sweeper against creature decks. Feed the Swarm against enchantments like Rest in Peace and whatnot. Like this deck actually kind of struggles to beat something like Rip. And it also doubles as a creature removal, so like against Death and Taxes or whatever, this card is actually pretty solid. Brutality against Aggro, Tail's End against the Trolls of the World and the Omnath Piles, Gust against decks where Gust is good against, couple of rejections against the Colorless decks and the Artifact decks, and Nihil Spellbolt against graveyards. We're gonna see how this goes. This is definitely not a Know Thy Enemy. It's more of a Know Thy Friend. But yeah, nowadays, if you want to play a control deck and you also want to be the good guy, you have to go this deep. It's not easy to be the good guy playing control nowadays, because it's so hard to just not play Uno, because it's the best thing to be doing in the format. But beating your opponent by recurring Snapcaster Mages, flashing back removal spells, it's kind of neat, not gonna lie. The only issue that I have with this list is the fact that if you're playing Lurrus, you kind of have to play Mishra's Bubble. And, these 4 slots could be something else, basically. This could be Spike shared with me a blue-black control list that he was working on, and he had stuff like, he didn't play Lurrus at all, but he was playing like Shark Typhoons, he was playing more Cryptics, he was playing Shadow Doubt, which I think it's a card that's probably pretty well positioned right now. So, these are the kind of questions that I'm going to be asking myself throughout this league or two. Which direction do I want to take this deck? Like, I feel like a couple of discard spells are fine, particularly because our deck relies so much on Snapcaster Mage. So, because of that, I kind of feel like I want to be playing some number of discard spells. But we'll see how that goes. Yep, keeping this hand, playing against Lurrus deck. What's the link to Titan Talk? Boom, gotcha. So this is probably just Black-Red Shadow. This hand seems fine against Black-Red Shadow. Removal spell would be great. Interesting. Don't care about this. We can force this. I think I'm taking the Thoughtseize. We can eat the Croxa, so that doesn't matter. What we need is lands, though. As long as we find lands, we're going to be fine, I think. Wincon is snap beats. Yes. And Lurrus recursion. Once you establish control, it's not particularly hard to actually just win. Second Bomat. Interesting that they go for that instead of Knight's Whisper. Blue source. Another draw on the lock is not great. Not great at all. So I guess I mill. I mill me? I think I mill myself. That's bad. Hey, at least we were never finding lands anyway, so we got a couple of non-lands out of the way. That is cool. I mean, we have 21 sources. Maybe should we play more lands? Exclamation point Fran, right? 24 lands and 3 colorless lands. And we're totally going to draw a Mystic Sanctuary. I just know it. You know when you just know it? Taking our 2 for 2. Like, I just need to use my spells. I really need to find a... I really need to find a land. Any kind of land. These Bomat Couriers are gonna bury me. There we go. So I'm obviously not gonna Thoughtseize. That's the easy part. Glad we got that out of the way. So I guess we just pass. I think I'm blowing up Bomat here. This one, the big one. Guess I should have done this on upkeep. Wow, they keep their hand? Okay. Wow. What? Drawing 3 seems so much better than this. Definitely got away with murder there. We'd love to find a Snapcaster, actually. Snappy would be great. And now my opponent kind of has to crack Bomat here. They're holding up. I knew it. I knew it. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. That's okay. What's up, house? How's it going? I kind of really needed to find the removal spell there. Really need to find the removal spell there. Death Shadow. 1/1 Shadow. We're probably going to be cycling these on Earth. Yikes. We have the Damnation, I guess. We do have a main deck Damnation. We do have a main deck Damnation. So I guess that we're drawing towards that. So the best thing to do is we activate Field. We activate Field. We fetch for a Swamp. And we're going to Cling to Dust, exiling the Bubble. And we have 2 looks towards finding exactly Damnation. We have the 1 of Damnation that we're going to try to draw here. Damnation? Huh? Ugh. So I guess we have to snap push this right now so my opponent doesn't draw cards. I guess that being the case, it's better for me to snap Bloodchief's Thirst. And then we're going to chump the Scourge and we're going to hope that my opponent can't grow. We're going to hope that my opponent cannot grow the Shadow. If they play Croxa, we just discard Thoughtseize. And next turn we can unearth the Snapcaster, push the Scourge, whatever that is. Got my Thoughtseize. Oh, that kills me. Womp womp. Okay, Damnation seems good. Archmage's Charm seems very good. Thoughtseize seems terrible. Forces. They could have Boil. So I guess we do something like this. If we had found our mana a little bit earlier, I think we would have been in fine shape that game, but a little bit of an unfortunate set of draws. Not too worried. Like this, I actually played against this matchup a couple of times when I first built the deck, and I felt like it was fine. Actually hoping for that Damnation. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to play to my outs. They were slim outs. They were very, very slim outs, but I think that I gave myself the best shot at turning that game around. And at that point, we would have been just facing the Croxa, but like we were fine. Like we would have been able to Snapcaster and then do stuff, so not too worried about the Croxa, I don't think. Oh, Nihil Spellbomb is good here. Actually, I don't think it's that good. Never mind. This is fine. I think the Clings are going to be just okay. Could have like a Spellbomb over the Force of Negation. Okay, I didn't get to do it. That's fine. Deck looks cool. Yeah, I think I played 2 leagues with it. I 4-1'd one, and I 3-2 the other one. And it's just like it's just fun. Like it's just a good time. So playing a control deck without Udo is kind of like I do enjoy playing control a lot. It's just a matter of just the card Udo kind of bores me to death. So and this is a shell that actually did show up a couple of times. I remember way back in the companion meta, Drown in the Lock. Do I want to draw a Drown? Yeah, actually I feel like Drown could be pretty good combined with Thought Scour. It's just counterspell. Back in the companion meta, I remember playing a Grixis deck that was very similar to this one. And I think I played it 1 league or like 2 leagues, and I went like 5-0 and 4-1 with it. So like the deck was obviously doing something quite powerful. And it was super, super fun to play too. Inquisition. I think I let that resolve. Choose your poison. We don't have to worry about Blood Moon, which is nice, because they rebuild Lurrus, so... I imagine they take Drown. And here I have 2 options. I can... End step Thought Scour, Dem. But I have to fetch Shock to do that. They take Snapcaster. Or I can fetch for an island. I think I won't double black though. Alternatively, I can just get a Watery Grave or a Sunken Hollow and just pass the turn. I think I'm going to get a Watery Grave tapped. I'm just going to Shock, and like the mana efficiency is just too important at this point in the game. Okay. Now our mana seems like it's doing stuff. Scour them to get the 1-ups. Exactly. Exactly. You know it. Inquisition. I think this Inquisition is going to be taking the Drown anyway, so I'm just going to drown it. Not give them the information. I don't think there's anything with them at 18. I don't think there's any 1-drop that they can play that I'm afraid of. Like they can't shadow me. Oh, they had a Foxes anyway. All right. Fuck me, I guess. So they're gonna take the other Drown now. I think I'm just gonna spend this turn to put Lurrus in my hand. It's bad if they have another Thoughtseize, but like that's the 4th discard spell. Yep. Next turn we can play Lurrus, get back a bubble. Or we can answer what my opponent's doing depending on what's up. I can't get boiled, so I'm not too worried about that. If they play a Shadow, I can thirst it. Bomat, same thing. Or both. Yeah, I think we just play Lurrus. Replay our bubble. And get Sunken Hollow, first that. And on their upkeep. We don't have force, so there's nothing that we can draw that matters here. So I'm just on their upkeep. I'm just gonna bubble them and see what they are drawing. Fiery Islet. Okay. Been playing too much Standard? I haven't played a match of Standard in a really long time. Maybe like 2 months. I've been playing Historic though. I've actually been playing Historic, and I've been playing a fair amount of Zendikar Rising Draft too. I still like Zendikar Draft. I still think it's fun. I don't think it's gonna be fun for much longer, but I'm still finding it pretty fun. What do I play in Historic? I play Naya Reclaimer, obviously. Yep. Good old Naya Reclaimer. Bubble Snapcaster. Well, we had Snapcaster drown, so just gonna bubble here. We're gonna serve with Lurrus. I think that we just win here. I think this game is now over. I don't think my opponent can win anymore. Doing a Blood Crypt. You can also like bubble them, and if you like, if they're drawing something good, you can scour them, which is cute. It's pretty hilarious. Okay, we know that their hand is Blood Crypt plus Unknown. And it doesn't matter what Unknown is. It cannot beat us, so. 4 mana. Agadeem's Awakening. Agadeem's Awakening. That literally does not matter at all, right? So I guess I'm gonna bubble myself, see what I draw. There's a Cryptic Command on top. So I guess I want to scour them, because I want to draw the Cryptic. And we really want to find the land here. Opponent's got a 6/6. Scour. You. Ooh, hello. Land. Any land will do. Or no land, that's also fine. We can draw 4. I guess we just do this. Okay, game number 3. The gust didn't look particularly great there, I have to say. Cola Cacao with the Prime sub. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Primetime Stronghold. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And there it is. Let's go. This looks like a lot of fun. It is fun. It is fun. Yeah, I think I just like this deck a lot. I think I'm gonna bring in the forces because of... I could also feed the swarm. The problem with Feed the Swarm is like I'm always gonna be trading down on mana, so that doesn't excite me too much. But Force of Negation protects me from Boil, which I am somewhat scared. To be honest, I haven't ever casted that. Well, that's even more. That's even more of a compliment that you've never cast a Titan and you're subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it even more. I just do this, I guess. This hand seems fine. Yeah, sounds pretty good actually. We have turn 1 covered, we have turn 2 covered. Wait, what happened? Why is Gust still in my deck? I literally just cast, so I guess it didn't. I literally hit submit, but it didn't accept my new submission. So I still have the stupid Gusts. Well, nice little bug. Good old Motobug. FFC filed for comp. Of course. So we're looking for a land here. Thought Scour. No, I don't want a Thought Scour, I want a land. I want to land pretty badly, actually. It's not a land. Well, I have to push this thing, I think, now. Because that's what my opponent's taking. I imagine now they're going to take the mana leak. Because they can play around the Gust very effectively. By just not playing anything. Ooh, one lander? Okay. You're drawing an Inquisition. Damn it. I mean, at least they're not drawing a land, but neither am I. All the 4 drops in hand. And this could be a freaking Nihil Spellbomb. This could be a Nihil Spellbomb, and instead I have like this fucking... Ugh. Still I have this stupid Aether Gust. We need some lands here, folks. We need some lands. Oh, actually, I can cycle this Unearth. For whatever reason, I thought that cycling Unearth was 3 mana, but it's actually 2. Yeah. I was just confused. We're obviously cycling this Unearth. That is delightful. God damn it. I mean, I guess I don't want to exile their stuff. It's gonna be fine. Like, they have Croxa and shit, but like, it's just fine. I need to draw a card. There we go. Woof. Worked hard for that one, huh? Worked hard for that one. Is my opponent gonna Inquisition me? Because they can't, unless they have a shock or a fetch, they can't even shadow me here. Nihil Spellbomb, you got it. Pog. We got there, chat. We got there. Almost. Almost there, chat. Almost there. So if they Inquisition me here... Omnath. Well, I'm just gonna counter draw. I was thinking about getting cute and like bouncing their Spellbomb, but I'm just gonna draw a card. Ooh. They kind of have to Spellbomb themselves here. They know about Into the Story. I think that is if they Spellbomb themselves, I'm gonna cling something from their graveyard in response. Gonna cling this land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, don't want to do the land. Fatal push, I guess. Because I don't want to cling them. Snapcaster Mage. It's a lot of cards. Both of these could be real cards. Both of these could be real cards if I hadn't been hit by the Moto bug. According to Twitch, I have consumed over 400 hours of friend content this year. Wow. Seems like a lot. Oh, they can't even spell on themselves. Sure. Boldface resolves. They should have done it there, because they would have forced me to go to discard. Now I'm just gonna draw 4. And I don't even have to discard. Inquisition resolves. Probably gonna take Snapcaster. We're gonna draw 4 though, so not too worried about this. Man, resolving this card really feels good. There are my lands. Land, Spellbomb. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we get to discard one of these stupid Aether Gusts. Pretty good value if you ask me. Opponent found second land. We got a game. Yeah. Looking good here, folks. So I'm gonna... Seems like the only way my opponent can potentially get back into this game is if they find a way to resolve a boil here. So I'm actually not gonna get rid of this Aether Gust because they have Spell Bomb, which could potentially mess things up for me. So I'm just gonna discard Island. Bolt Face. I think that we're far ahead enough that we can do this. Now we have to discard one less card. Sweet. And the reason why I use Drown there is because this counters Boil right now. But if my opponent Nihil Spellbombs themselves, then it doesn't, right? So I'm trying to guarantee that that just works out. That's a Scorch. It resolves. Dan Francisco with a turn 1 sub, coming back for the 23rd month. Infinite months as a member of the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you so much, Dan. Just making sure that I'm using my mana, hitting my land drops. My opponent wants to sack Spellbomb here. That's perfectly fine. If they don't, I draw a Cryptic. I honestly have no idea why we're still playing this game. Also, my opponent is down to 6 minutes on their clock. Okay, we have a win con, chat. We found our win condition. Excellent. Excellent. We have successfully found our win condition. Mine. In fact, my shadow is larger than theirs. Mine is a 3/3. We draw our Cryptic, we play our land. I guess I fetch. Might as well. Swing for 4. Let's go, baby. Sure, you got me. I think we just put Lurrus in our hand. My opponent is down to 1 card, so I'm just gonna put Lurrus in hand. Maybe this is... Nah, this is just fine. We had Cryptic. That was a timely push. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters, right? Because now my opponent had the push to answer the Lurrus, and now they don't, so... I just thought it was kind of hilarious. I don't think my opponent is using their mana very well. They should have cracked this a long time ago. They should have cracked those a really long time ago. I have no idea why this one is still in play. They target me. So I guess I'm gonna put an interest story on top. And that resolves. We still have Cryptic. Crack, target myself. Draw a card. Oh, this doesn't work. Whoops. I was thinking I could replay that, but that's just not how the card works. Womp womp. I mean, we're drawing 4. I don't think that we need this Lurrus to be card advantage. This Lurrus is just a win condition at this point. Nike's Whisper. Just gonna counter and bounce. We are at that point in the game, I think. Played a land already. Both of our Cryptics are gone, and our Archmage's Charm is also gone, which is kind of awkward, but I am not particularly worried about this game. Omnath Courier. You got it. I just don't understand why my opponent is not conceding. They have been 0% to win this game for at least like 5 turns, but I mean, maybe they're just not aware of the existence of Rule 104.3a. It could be the case. It could be the case. It's not a very well-known rule. But it's not a very well-known rule. But it is a pretty interesting rule, and I think it's pretty useful. I think it's rather useful. Because it prevents me from wasting my time. Like, for the past 5 minutes, like I don't know what they're trying. Yeah, exactly. Like this game has been over for a while. Anyway, 1-0, solid start, good showing for the deck. As I was saying at the beginning, like that matchup is just overall pretty good for us. We have a lot of card advantage, and you know, the game that we lost, I feel like we would have been pretty favored to win if we had found like lands. So that is also another thing to consider, right? Like, do we want to add a 25th land? If I were to add a 25th land, we're playing 9 fetches currently. So I don't think I would add another fetch. I definitely want a colored source though. So it maybe could be the one that filters. What's the name of the filter land? You definitely don't want to play Creeping Tarpon in this kind of deck, because I think that the ETB tap land is just too much of a cost. Sunken Ruins. This one. The problem is that sorry about that. The problem is that, as I was saying earlier, because you're playing Lurrus, you're kind of forced into playing Mishra's Bubbles. And when you're forced to play Bubbles, this hand seems like a trap, but I'm gonna keep it because I'm a greedy monster. River of Tears. No, I don't think we want. Actually, we have discard spells. I'm not sold on the fact that we want discard spells. So maybe if we don't want... Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely forcing it here. It really sucks that Force doesn't combo with drawing the luck. Drown might not be very good this game. Okay, we're finding our lands, which is exactly what we want. I guess I should have played the fetch and fetched. If we find another island, we are gonna want to have access to this as a Mystic Sanctuary, though. That sucks. I guess we can steal that next turn if we want to. Radiant Fountain. I think I want to draw cards here. This is my favorite thing about playing against AmuLIT. When I'm not playing AmuLIT, you can just auto yield to this. It's pretty good value. 3 mana. What do we got? Okay, my opponent's developing mana over there. I think that we just have to Lucksack here. Lucksacked, easy. Just Giant feel like we're sitting on the wrong time of the table. I played this matchup like twice, and both times I felt very, very comfortable. So I'm not sure that's a correct statement. So what we're gonna do here is I think I'm gonna put Archmage's Charm on top, and I'm just gonna bounce their bounce land. Turn target permanent to turn or stand, draw a card. It's not about matchup, it's about principle. Yeah, that's probably true. And now we can steal the AmuLIT. I don't think that's stealing the AmuLIT. Like, I see control players do that all the time. I don't think it's a very good line, honestly. More often than not, like, this is just better as a counterspell or as a divination. Spike with the massive Wraith. We're taking a page of an Aspiring Spike book here. And we are playing Blue-Black Control. Littlefit, thank you for the follow. And we are actually playing against AmuLIT, so... How the tables have turned, huh? Shiny Psyduck, thank you for the follow. How the tables have turned. Exclamation point, Fran, exactly. So we know that my opponent has a Cavern of Souls. Thank you for all those follows, by the way. RC, Pipsy, Math Guy. Thank you for that. Have you considered going up a land in this deck? I actually have. Like, you're joking, but I have considered going up a land in this deck. I think I'm just gonna upkeep bubble them. See what they draw. You know why? Because now if they play their Dryad, my push is live. Is that a good play? Is that a good play, chat? Maybe this Contraband guy streams. Maybe. Maybe we should all be watching Contrabanda instead of watching me. I'm gonna return that to their hand. Thought Scour. That's pretty good. That is very good, actually. That's kind of exactly what I what I wanted to draw there. Land would also be awesome, because land allows me to, like, I don't think I can lose this turn unless my opponent is an extreme luck sack, so... So good. So good, chat. You're in for a treat, chat. Masterfully maneuvering in this sea. Masterfully maneuvering in this sea of tight place. How does this deck win? Lurrus snap beats? Yes. What else do you need? Like, do you really think that we need anything else? No. Interesting play there, opponent. Now your Titan is not uncounterable. Play my land. Play my cat. It's cat time. Tap C, thank you for the follow. Would love to see a Field of the Dead. A Field of the Dead, Field of Ruin. We're not playing Field of the Dead. Like, we know they have a bounce land in hand, so I think that they just fucked up when they... Yeah, like, now they basically time walk themselves. It's not enough mana, opponent. I guess maybe they have a mana monkey, but that's not enough mana. I only have 5 cards in the yard. So we're gonna have to find something here. We're out of Mystic Sanctuaries. Russical, thank you for the follow. There's a Cling to Dust on top of my deck. I don't think I want that card. Also, my opponent has Stomping Ground, so I'm gonna be watching out for Boil in post-Cyber the games. So shuffle that away. Draw for... People ask me, Francisco, how are you so good at this game? And I tell them, well, it's a couple of things, really. Number one, you have to be a luck sack. Like, if you're not a luck sack, you cannot be. You simply cannot be a top tier player. You know, like, you have to be a luck sack. Luck sackness is basically a requirement. So on their upkeep, we're gonna draw the Mana Leak, Field of Ruin that Cavern of Souls. Six cards. So now we're gonna get to Mana Leak plus Into the Story. It's a Radiant Fountain. Counter that one. That one is countered now. Necron Lord, thank you for the follow. How many cards do you have in the graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 7? Oh, 7 cards in the graveyard. Very interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the cards that I just drew. Field of Ruin. Sure, let's just play this because this means that I can potentially get the Sanctuary loop going faster. I guess I'm gonna bubble them. Yeah, draw and explore. think you can draw Explore. Should I feel bad for wanting that Titan to resolve? No, we only want Titans to resolve when we are the ones casting them. Thought Scour Mishra's Bubble is a very cute interaction too. Azusa's gonna make a lot of mana, and like this mana leak is kind of like becoming dead very quickly, so countering the Azusa there seems fine to me. Got a Stomping Ground. That's it. Okay. See what you got on top. There's a Castle Garenbrig. Yeah, Castle Garenbrig's fine. I kind of want to snap Caster. Just to speed up the clock. Try to target permanent to his owner's hand. Draw a card. I know that this exiles the Cryptic from the yard, but this sets up my Cryptic loop next turn. Like, it's not like I want to draw more cards. Like, we're fine with the amount of cards that we're drawing. In fact, we might be drawing a little bit too many cards at this point. We know they have a Castle Garenbrig on top, which we don't care about. There are not that many cards that we care about, actually. Have you heard any music by Brazilian singer Tim Maia? Because here in Brazil, to be a good player, you have to play leagues while listening to him. Oh, really? No, I have not heard Tim Maia. I'm a big fan of Brazilian music, so I've listened to many Brazilian. They play the land for turn, so this is fine. This can resolve. My opponent's Titan is about to get drowned in the lock. It's a pretty big dude, so I have to imagine that the lock is pretty deep as well. Let's see what you're drawing. You're drawing Stacy. I think that you can draw Stacy. Sure, just crack another bubble. It's coming or bust. They can also have Field of the Dead. That's why I'm not cracking my Field of Ruin. Field of the Dead also gets around my counter magic. Team Maya's Grave Resilient Funk and Soul. Nice. You're saying words that sound very pretty to my ears, so I can get behind that. Snapcatcher, push this, swing for lethal. My opponent hasn't shown me Karn, and they haven't shown me Steering, so I'm not gonna bring Ceremonious Rejection. There's definitely an argument for bringing in Rejection, but I don't think that I wanna be doing that. And I'm cutting manually because like we're... Oh, no. I have to cut something else. Guess I'm going to cut a push. There we go. The thing about Gus, you're so cruel. Yeah, I'm definitely on the fuck Aethergust camp of things. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Very, very, very far into the fuck Aethergust camp of things. Top 10 anime betrayals. Big time, right? Play Stacy? Oh, Gracer? Ah. Well, this hand is not working out great, I have to say. Thirst, very bad against Dryad and Nasusa. I mean, at the same time, my opponent's hand is not great. Can blow up a 1-drop. So we can counter Summoner Spect. I decided just want to win, and Gust is good against time. Oh yeah. Glad that we got that out of the way. My opponent did nothing there. So I'm just gonna draw step, blow up their Simic Growth Chamber. Set them a little bit behind. Feed my Drowned Luck. It's not the best use of a Field of Ruin, but this allows me to play around Boil, which is nice too. So I have to scour now because I might draw into exactly Mishra's Bubble. Nice. Got him. Always strictly correct to mill your opponent because you might get their one-offs. Just tight play. Floor file, thank you for the follow. Sunken Hollow. Land is good, land is good. And now we're gonna Thirst the Gracer, not only because he lets us attack, but it's the 7th card in my opponent's yard, so now we can into the story. It seems like my opponent is in the Jose camp of things, which is obviously the wrong camp of things, where they think that Tracker is actually okay against Aethergust. It's not. It is very, very much not enough to beat Aethergust. We don't have card draw, which is kind of awkward. Discarding Thirst and Snapcaster. Sometimes Into the Story just draws too many cards. It's brutal. Stacy resolves. What's up, Smash? That one is a problem. That one right there is a problem. So I think I'm going to have to Into the Story here just so we can draw we can draw an answer to field. They have second field. Okay. I guess we can steal the Sombo too. Push that. I mean, I have too many cards in hand. I don't think I want to. Just gonna scour them. Found land, which is good. Still cannot find. Still cannot find Field of Ruin. Yeah, we're definitely countering this. My opponent might find it, might draw into a bounce land or something like that. We still have Gust. They don't haze their zombie. Bubble. Two of my opponents drawing. They clearly have nothing, and they're drawing a Castle Garenbrig. So I think I'm just gonna Lurrus here. We can still Gust if my opponent is somehow sandbagging a Titan after all this time. And we're winning the race very easily. Second bubble's not great. You can pretty easily beat this Field of the Dead, actually. What are we drawing? Damnation. Nah, probably don't want that one. Mystic Sanctuary, we're gonna get back. Archmage's Charm, yes. Draw that one. Replay this one. Oh, we have Thoughtseize? I'm gonna take two. Cavern of Souls is the last card in hand, that's fine. Play another bubble. Bubble you. See what my opponent's drawing. They're drawing a Gruul Turf. They don't have double blue. So I guess that's fine. My zombie. And now we have lethal next turn. In the bag. In the bag. What you drawing over there, OP? What you drawing? Radiant Fountain? Pew! AmuLIT confirmed unplayable. Don't play AmuLIT. Deck can't win. This is officially now a blue-black Lurrus metagame. Do you feel the dark side creeping every time you... I didn't cast a single Gust! Like, I had it in my hand the whole time. Didn't matter. Didn't need it. This deck is so freaking sick. Like when you're winning, like when you stabilize, it really feels very powerful. It kind of feels like a prison deck to an extent, where you're just like, I have too many cards in my hand, can't really cast all this stuff that I would like to cast. Going to discard every single turn. It feels pretty good. Playing against Kitchen Finks. Skip this hand. Hopefully we're not playing against an aggro deck, because this Thoughtseize is going to undo all the job that this Cling to Dust is supposed to be doing. But it's okay. Blood Chief's Thirst is on top of my deck. Seems like a reasonable card. Definitely Thoughtseize in on one. We're playing against Control, so... On the plus side, they have a ton of removal spells that don't matter whatsoever, so that's good for me. My opponent's playing for the 5-0. Even if they have a Wrenn, we can just Thirst the Wrenn, which is nice. We can exile the land, draw a card, and then we untap and we Thirst the Wrenn, which is great. All of these removal spells are not going to be doing much. My opponent eventually is going to have to waste them on like Snapcasters or whatever. So this is just like money tribal. Okay, opponent confirmed Black Sack. Another Thought Scar. I think I'm spending this turn to Lurrus, to draw Lurrus. Mostly because it's like, it's kind of a dead turn. So I'd rather use my mana effectively. Even if they have a Teferi, like we just don't care. And if they have Udo, they're not going to be able to Udo and also flashback. So this is fine. Field of Ruin. Opponent Udos. Just going to cling it. Cling it. We got 5 cards in hand, we know about 3 of them. I think I cling right here. They could have Force plus blue card as their last 2 cards, and that would be very bad for us, but c'est la vie. Oh, I should have played this, because we don't have... I forgot that we just don't have... We don't have enough islands just yet. Could have played Lurrus right there, but we're just allowing my opponent to use their mana. We are definitely missing, like, we need counter magic here, right? Like, if my opponent now were promises here, we're kind of fucked, but... Wrenn we can kill. Stomping around. Only one unknown. Ren and 6? More like dead and 6. Get it? Dead and 6. It's dead. So I'm killing it. I guess I do want to draw the card, so let's do this here. That's a flooded strand on top. We really want to find the cryptic command. We want to find into the story. So I guess I put a stop on upkeep. Force of negation going on top. Okay. So I guess we really want to find something like that. Snapcaster. That doesn't do shit. I guess it is a redraw. It's not a good draw. Mana leak. Probably also not a good draw. MTG, Glare Wolf, thank you for the follow. Hit you for 2. Bolt successfully exchanged. Quite a lot of viewers. We got a really nice raid from Spike, so that's why we see all of these fine folks hanging out today. Well, that really sucks. I could have mana leaked. We're gonna put the Blood Chief's Thirst on top. Cling to Dust. Nothing really matters, so I guess I'm taking Lightning Bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I could play Lurrus and I could basically get my card. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm gonna be doing that next turn. This is too bad. This is too bad. This is pretty unfortunate. Another bubble on top. I think my opponent's gonna path here. We just have to accept it. We might actually run out of win conditions. Why not snap with Lurrus? Because I mean, I guess it might have been better. I was thinking that I wanted to draw like a relevant card, right? So like if I draw a cryptic command, I want to make sure that I can cast it. But my opponent has a known force of negation in hand, I guess. So drawing the lock, it's not bad. I guess milling them is the win condition. Death by TV, thank you for the follow. Thoughtseize. It's kind of hot. Trapped in my house, thank you for the follow. There's the force of negation, and I think that's fine. Yeah, so I don't want to play the Sanctuary just yet, because I don't think there's anything that I am. Sanctuary, getting back Cryptic probably, makes sense. We have Drown for that, so not too worried. That's a missed draw step. Two, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have 9 mana. It's a lot of fucking mana. Would love to draw one of my good cards here. We're ahead on clock, so we're winning that battle. I'm kind of scared of Uro though. Not gonna lie, kind of scared of Uro. Field of the Dead would also be kind of scary. That's pretty good. Who isn't scared of Uro? It's a good question. That is a good question. Just gonna discard this Fatal Push probably. Damnation seems randomly more relevant. Hey, feeding my Cling to Dust. Well, I think I'm gonna get back on Earth. It's the most vanilla card in my graveyard. It's the most vanilla card in my graveyard because I can just cycle it. And I guess I don't want to discard, you know. If I cast into this story, will my opponent counter it? Let's just see what happens here. Let it go. Opponent's too smart. Too fucking smart. Play bubble. Play land. Ahead on clock. We are ahead on clock. God damn it. There's such thing as too much card advantage, folks. My opponent has 21 cards and I have 20. They drew Field of the Dead. That's why they're doing this now. Which means I have to draw into another one of my Field of Ruins. We have two. We have two remaining in the deck. Yeah, we can fail to find, but now we're actually dying to the zombies, right? So we do need to... So I think I'm just gonna like bounce the zombie and draw a card. That's brutal. I guess I should have done this first. Field of Ruin is what we draw. Sweet. Maybe I should have done this on their upkeep. Mana leak. Pay 3. Mana leak. So I guess they're gonna get to resolve Omnath, which is fine. But this Mana Leak is better suited to pitch into force. Fail to find. We have Cryptic though. My opponent doesn't have Cryptic. Ooh, okay. So no counter magic from them. Okay. What are they gonna do? They kind of have the plus here. We can thirst that, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I'm out of fetchables. Unfortunately we managed to draw our very last island. So these are basically pay one life to fuel Cling to Dust. That's what these cards read. It's kind of a slugfest. Kind of a slugfest. Oh, don't have a Ren. Oh. Fuck. That's brutal, because that gets back the Field of the Dead. I can't believe they found their third Ren. I mean, it's not the weirdest thing ever, considering like how far into their deck they are, and that they're drawing 3 a turn with Jace, right? So it's not the craziest thing. Shauna with the 17 months. Thank you for that, Shauna. You appreciate it. Just getting wrecked by stupid Field of the Dead. Guess it's Axeline. This deck is very similar to Jerry T's list from the All Companion rules, right? It is similar, yeah. I based it off of a deck similar to that Harlan had played. So it was Harlan Fears. Wargate Amulet. This is fine. And my opponent stacked their triggers wrong. Oh, P. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta stack your triggers in the other way. Our promise. Funny how we actually want the Snapcaster to die just so we can unearth it and get more value. Found the land for the field. They probably have 1 basic plains left in the deck. I have to assume. Fuck yeah, block. Okay. Oh, did I? Oh, shit. Whoops. Well. I thought that I had another... Okay, that's the plan, folks. We got the plan. We have a plan now. Thought Scour aggro. Thought Scour aggro. Let's fucking go. Udo. Okay. Again, they stacked their triggers wrong. Opponent not learning. Cryptic back. Make sure we draw the Cryptic. And I guess 2, 3, 4. Playing that Udo. 1, 2, 3. No, not that one. 3. No, not that one. 3, 4, 5. Eat that Uro, and we can push here. I think we're gonna take one hit. What if we push and then flashback Cling again? I think that's the play. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is intense. Play an Omnath. I dare you. Yes, draw them cards. Draw them cards. If we win this game, I'm gonna be overly excited. Probably unreasonably excited. Tuple creatures. Return target permanent. Force of negation. Well, that sucks. We have another snap, so I think I'm going to do this now. Because we might draw into a drown. Oh, another Snapcaster. Oh, there you go. Okay. Force of negation. We could Damnation here. Well, I guess we have to Damnation, huh? So now we're out of Snappies. So the only win condition is for my opponent to not find their second Omnath in time. Let's go, baby. It's a race. Yes! Yes! Okay, okay. We can gain life. We can gain life to stay ahead of that. Down to one card. Take two. Oh, please tell me this is gonna happen. Please, please tell me that this is gonna happen. Please tell me that this is gonna happen. Oh my. Force of negation, that one. Now what? Another land. Sure. Cling to dust your Omnath. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a Drown the Lock in hand as my last card. You have to swing for lethal this turn, or you lose. Yes! Got him! Oh man! Holy shit, that was a game. God damn! That was incredible! I can't believe we won that one by decking them without Skyward. Oh wow! Wow! That honestly, that's one of the most exciting games that I played in a while. That is one of the most exciting games I played in a long time. That was incredible. Alright, this deck is amazing, chat. This game is amazing. If you think otherwise, you're just wrong. You're just strictly wrong. I think I'm gonna cut the mana leaks. 61 cards? Yes. So it's easier for me to not get milled. Wow. I am over the moon right now. I am over the moon right now. That was amazing. That was game one, yeah. That was game one. Lands and spells. What else could anybody ever want? I guess that if they have Ren, I would have wanted to cling their land. Yeah, so this was a mistake. I should have led on Misty Rainforest. Yep, there's a Ren. Yep, I fucked that one up. Fuck that up, chat. Brutal. Got too excited about the previous game, and now I'm losing focus. We can't accept that. That's not acceptable. Yep, that's what I should have done last turn. The charm is not bad. That is bad. Nerdney Reaper with the tier 1 sub gifting to Rope Barn 01. Thank you so much for that. Hope you folks are having as much fun as I am right now. My opponent is... They know about the mill Wincon now. They're like, yeah, Ashiok. This is what the game's about. Just get an Ashiok. Yeah, they came prepared to play the mill game this time around. Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna be able to win this one. I think seems rough. Just gonna draw 2. Can you explain why we play Tailsend? Good question. So Tailsend counters this and Uro and Omnath. And also Tailsend counters Current Liberated. It counters O-Stone activations. It's actually pretty flexible. It counters fast oracle triggers. It counters what else? Primeval Titan ETB triggers. There's all sorts of things that that Tail Send counters. So, and you get to blow out fetch land. That's also true. I think I'm going to draw 2. Looking for Blood Chief's Thirst. Couldn't find Blood Chief's Thirst. So I'm gonna upkeep, bounce Rain, I guess, because otherwise I just lose to it. It's kind of a desperation move. Yeah, we're not in great shape. Target me. They have Mana Leak in hand. We know about that. Mana Leak and Tarn are the 2 cards that I know about. Milled or lands. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, that also kind of sucks. Okay, so the rest of this game is going to be about clock management. I'm just going to try to make my plays very nice and quick. And we're going to try to get there in time. Pass the turn. Super Friends. Omnath, okay. Yeah, I don't think we can win this game anymore. I guess it was pretty important that we won game 1. Next win on opponent timing out. Yeah, I mean that's the most real one right here for sure. 100%. In fact, my opponent should consider to field or win me now just so they can get the 4 damage of the Omnath, which would make it like a 3-turn clock. I guess it's a 3-turn clock anyway, so never mind. Veil of Summer. All of the cards that I can't beat. All of them. Mana Leak. Pay. Got another one? Mystical Dispute. No. Don't pay. Pass. It's a good thing I'm drawing summon lands. Yeah. It definitely helps my, helps my chances here. Okay, so I guess that they have lethal next turn. Unless I can Blood Chief's Thirst that thing. Two, three. This guy's pretty hard to beat. And we definitely got a little bit lucky that last game, I guess, we randomly milled a bunch of fairies. Okay, so we're 3 minutes ahead. We're 3 minutes ahead on clock going into game number 3. Which is solid. Okay, so I guess that we want mana leaks to make sure that we... No, do we? Nihil spam actually looked lackluster. The mana leak on the plate is obviously a lot better than on the draw. Thirst is fine, Charm is good, Force of Negation is good. Guess I'm just gonna cut one of the bubbles. I could also cut an Unearth. Okay. An opponent's making some concessions. You see how they sequence there. Wow. Well, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Fuck. And they're jamming into my open mana like that. Potato people, one, thank you for the follow. God damn it. Wow. Thirst. No thirst. To answer this, I put a Sphinx at the final word in my board. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Not when I'm playing a Lurrus deck. It's cute and everything, but nah, it's not gonna happen. Now you show up. God damn it. Still have Gust. Okay. Yeah, we're super dead. We're super fucking dead here. And I think my opponent's gonna be able to win in time. Because they're just jamming, because they have to just jam. That's unfortunate. After such a sick game 1. Like losing this game 3 where I drew like more lands. Man. Z-Man995, thank you for the follow. That's very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Such a sad way to go. We're totally getting owned here by Veil of Summer, aren't we? We're totally getting owned by a Veil of Summer here or something. Dispute. Yep. So many triggers. Not looking good, chat. Not looking good. Not looking great, gotta say. They can Veil, obviously. I play Thought Scour and you can play a good card. Did you see the way I built my deck, Colby? Wait, what happened with the Veil of, with the Mana Leak there? Just disappeared out of nowhere? Why not mill yourself with a Thought Scour? It doesn't matter. Like, I want to... milling them with Thought Scour was my win condition game 1. Oh, they paid for it. Okay, there we go. Is this it? This might be it. Womp womp. That's unfortunate. That game 1 was really hot. That game 1 was really hot, and then we ended up just drawing a bazillion lands and just dying. Anyway. Two on one, no 5-0 for us, but this hand's pretty good. That game 1 was worth it. Scarring yourself gives you action, more snap curious, and clean Lurrus targets, right? Yeah, I don't think I'm winning anyway. Like, I don't think that makes too much of a difference. Either vial. I think I'm supposed to mana leak this, right? To force this. Send something. Thank you for the follow. Are we? Oh no, I should have done it there because I might want to leak something here. Noble Hark. Noble Hark. Mana Leak. I think another Mana Leak is fine. What am I playing against though? And this is a terrible draw. Bant Spirits? Sure. And Spirits it is. Sweet. And I'll leak that shit. Push that other shit. Land. Go. What should we try to do here? How am I winning? We just have to draw more removal. I think I want to force my opponent to do this now. Didn't float mana. Okay. Snapcaster's good. So I can push this or I can leak this. I think I want to leak. And I immediately clicked on the wrong card. Classic. Classic. Whoops. Whoops. It's okay. It's okay. Lurrus is gonna save me. I have faith. Faith is the last thing we lose, isn't it? Skyclave Apparition. Sure. Now my leak is bad. Yeah, I'm very well aware. And I'm very sad about that. I am very, very sad about that. I also exiled my push from the yard, so I can't Mystic Sanctuary it back. Like, it was just terrible. On every single account, it was just a terrible play. That's why I wanted to do the other play that was a lot better. But I ended up playing making the play that was just strictly wrong. So let's bubble myself here. We're drawing a Misty? No, we're not drawing a Misty. Please don't have another apparition. Droxcall Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. No more cards in hand. So this forces the chump block from the Lurrus. Man, that mistake was just so bad. I would be in such a better position right now. These Noble Harks are doing work. Damnation. So I guess Damnation is my only out here. Nothing in my yard does anything. So I have to do this. And I have to cling whatever their flooded strand. And drew exactly Damnation. Damnation one time. Redraws. Damnation one time. Cling. We can Snapcaster. Technically not dead. Okay, now we're dead. Or maybe not. Weird list that my opponent's playing here. Thoughtseize, right on time. Damnation? More lands. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So we kill this. No, we're dead. These are bad. These are bad. These are bad. So I guess I'd rather play Force than Mana Leak. I guess 1 and 1. Let's do 1 and 1. They're both very bad. The rest is fine. Did we get FB on Cling and Past? Flashback? No, we got Thought Scour. We Thought Scoured my opponent, which was effectively the same as Clinging. Okay. I can work with this hand. I can work with this hand. Till sent to counter Exalted triggers. Yeah, that's the next level play right there. I think I don't want that. I think I'm just gonna get a Watery Grave. I guess untap, because I might draw Mana Leak. I want to leak something. Field of Ruin. Can't beat that card in a million years. Can't beat that card. Oh yeah, Force of Negation. I think I'm just gonna feed the Swarm, use my mana, deny my opponent their mana. There's something in the name with Scour if you're trying to cast into the story, but otherwise you should allow yourself to fill all your graveyard cards. It's a split, right? Like it depends on what I'm trying to do. So like it changes from game to game. It also changes with like what my opponent's doing. Like we played against AmuLIT, for example, and I want to make sure that my draw and the locks are live, right? And if that's what I'm trying to do, then I want to make sure that I have the correct colors of mana. Second Supreme Phantom. Am I scouring here? I don't think I'm scouring. I think I'm just taking 2. I'm just gonna field on end step. And they could have exactly Spell Pierce, but I'm not gonna play around it. Get a basic island. Gonna get Sunken Hollow here. And we're gonna Damnation. We're gonna have 6. Next turn we can get Damnation back. Yeah, you might be right, Iceman. Last game with this, we're looking for removal or Damnation, and we had Snap in hand. No into the story, and we target opponent with Scar. Yeah, no, you're actually right, Keen. Yep. You are actually correct. So we're going to put Damnation on top, and I think we're just going to Snapcaster feed the Swarm. I don't think I can let my opponent tap with this. If they quell me, that's great because it enables my push. If they don't quell me, it's also fine. Just do this. I know how it doesn't lose, but how do you win with it? How the same way that we've won all 2 matches that we've won so far. That same way. Eventually they're going to be forced to throw that Spell Queller away. And I'm going to be ready when that happens. Collected Company? Nope. This deck is not into the best defense is a good offense philosophy. No, it's not. It is certainly not. I'll tell you that much. Got a Vial. So they still have Spell Queller. But now they have to block. I guess next turn they have to block. They know about this. They also know about this. It's likely that they have an apparition for this, Lurrus. Which would make matters a little bit more awkward, but like still fine, because we just beat them with the 3-3 that we get. It's not that big of a deal. We just have to make sure that we enable the bubble, though. We enable the push with the bubble, is what I meant to say. What's he drawing? Phantasmal image. Veil of Summer. Well, that's fucked up. Alright, we got caught. Didn't play around Veil. Reminds me of the Luburrus Control since standard that were only in the Falia drum year as a win con. Yeah, I mean, they are based off of the Grixis decks that were popular during the companion meta. That's what I was going for, at least. Well, that's... Gotta draw Cryptic. We know they have a Phantasmal Image in hand, because they didn't shuffle, so they're just going to copy their Drog Skull. Everything just went to shit here. I guess I should have also drawn a card in response to that. I'm just throwing here, chat. Send help. Never mind, everything's fine. Maybe not. Yeah, I guess I fucked up. I should have won this game. If I had done that in response, we would have been fine. Blood Chief's Thirst is on top. Doesn't cut it. Let's blow that up. Cling their land, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can gain 3 now, but we're still dead. We could have gained 3 twice, but like we were still dead. Yeah, we just lost this. Jeez. Okay. That sucks. I played that game pretty poorly. Like if I had... Basically, I needed to do that stuff in response to the vial activation, but I was just like, I was just checked out and I fucked it up. But the line would have been that, and then we would have been able to kill the Drogsoul Captain, and then we would have been able to take it from there. Because I had exactly 1 mana left when I into the story there. Today we learned that the best offense is not a good defense. Well, my defense failed me. If I had been able to defend. Didn't know Blue-Black Lands was a deck in Modern? Yeah. Classic. Also, it's been like 2.5 hours for this league. Now I know why I would never ever play this deck in an event. Like, this is fun and everything, but holy shit, does it take a long time to win. Did I have Revolt? If I have sequenced properly, which would have meant bubbling on their fetching on their upkeep, which is what I intended to do before I fucked up, then I would have had Revolt. Yeah, on the turn where Revolt mattered, exactly. I think that was the question. And on the turn that revolt mattered, I didn't have it, I think. So I'm gonna island, and I think I'm gonna upkeep. They're drawing shadow, so we just mill it. Got him. Wow, actually both of those would have been a problem. Good thing I milled there. Smart play on my side. Bowman is just such a beating against control decks. My brain kept wanting push on the Hexproof image to work. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. That's not how Hexproof work. Yeah, exactly. Makes things a lot tougher. There's a push under the Vomat, so it's good to know. We also have a drown now, which is pretty hot actually. Two mana. Scourge. You got it. So I think we pass the turn and we get it tapped. Now I'm gonna scar myself because my opponent already has what I want. Ooh. Talk to me. Talk to me. We know there's a push under the Bowmat. Swift Spear. Gonna take some damage here. I'm basically protecting against. It's pretty good. So they're gonna get to draw a bunch here, which is bad for me, but one of them is a dead fatal push. And now we have Into the Story or Drown in the Lock. Is this Lurrus? Sweet. All right, looking good, chat. We are looking good. And even Thoughtseize doesn't save them. Because if they Thoughtseize the Drown, we just Snapcaster Drown, so we're gonna get to counter the Lurrus. I could Snap Scour here. Mostly because it uses my mana efficiently. Like, I feel like I really want to Into the Story next turn. My opponent gets to push and get in for one more point of damage, but I don't think that matters too much. Yeah, okay, that's game. So now we Into the Story. Plus drown. No blocks. Take one. Whee! It's not like incredible or anything, honestly. It's kind of not amazing. That's okay. We got another one, so it's no big deal. I think they have more basics. I am gonna just thirst this though. Thank you for the follow, Tenebre55. So many lands I would side out too. We don't joke about siding out lands in this channel. I'm sorry, Falido. Let's blow that up. Float a black mana. You got it. Cling to Dasmai into the Starry. You got it. Why would they do that in response? Kind of weird. Okay, so the second, what's his name, is in the deck, which is good. The second Mystic Sanctuary. So if they attempt to cling something, we can stop them. Just arrive in time for the draw 4. Exactly. Eating Snapcaster Mage. Sweet. Awesome. Thoughtseize is what they draw. Ooh, that's kind of awkward, actually. Nah, it's not that awkward. We just counter the Thoughtseize. We know their hand is Thoughtseize, Dismember. That's the worst draw in the deck. Fuck. That sucks. I really need that card to remain in my deck. I really needed you to stay where you were. They eat a bubble. I have an Earth in my deck, so is it possible that I'm supposed to just let this go? Oh, I guess I'm gonna counter it. They have a Bowmat on top? That's fine. Were we not using a Sanctuary and a Drown on top and draw into the bubble? My opponent has a Cling in their yard, so we kind of have to be careful with what we do. I'll block. So if I had gone for that, my opponent just clings in response, puts us in an awkward spot. So we have to be careful with our sequencing and when we do the stuff that we do. And I guess I don't want to go down to 3. So we're just going to chill here. They drew Bolt. We also have Snapcaster. Okay, so we're playing against Shadow. These are good cards. Thoughtseize is not a good card. Forces are kind of medium. I think we sideboarded something like this last time. I'm living in Force because of Boil more than anything else. I would side out the Force. I just explained why I want to keep it. I think that the first Forced is better than all of these cards. Like, I don't think my opponent's going to be in a Blood Moon plan. And if they are, that sounds great for me. But oh, they are in a Blood Moon plan. Oh, no, they're not. Okay, cool. I guess we keep this. We have early interaction. We have a bubble. We have cantrips. It's not like an insane hand or anything, but like we only need one land drop, and like Drown is basically going to be alive forever. That's great. It also allows us to do the bubble trick. Bolt themselves. Like it. One of the few times Lurrus not being sorcery speed matters. Yeah, Lurrus is a messed up card. Yeah. Field of Ruin. I mean, it's not a great land, but it is a land. We can't afford to miss land drops, so we're just gonna do this. Ah! Ah! Surgical Extraction, your Mishra's Bubble. Do you want me to teach you how to not win a matchup like this? A great way to make sure that you are behind in an arms race, like a greeny matchup like this one is, a great way to do that is to board in Surgical Extraction. That is a great way to make sure that you are very behind the matchup. I understand the synergies with, like, however you want to justify playing this. I understand the synergies with like Death Shadow, you get to pay life, etc, etc, etc. It's not worth it. So I think I'm just gonna field and thirst this. And they should cycle this Soul Guide Lantern here. There's always a weird and wrong justification to play Surgical. That's like a mainstay. Kill that one. Is Snapcaster straight up the only way to kill? You have Lurrus too. And you have Mill. You can just mill your opponent with Thought Scours. All of those have been actual win conditions in this league. Snapcaster beats, Lurrus beats. Milling you with Thought Scour. All of those very, very valid win conditions. Why are they not cracking Bubble? Fatal Blow is just so good. It kind of feels a little bit like garbage time right now, if I'm being honest. It's starting to feel a little bit like garbage time. I think my opponent lost this game when they played a Surgical against me. They Surgical my Mistress Bubbles, achieved absolutely nothing. They discarded a card for no reason. And now I'm up 5 cards to their 2. And all of my cards generate value. Before they get priority, I'm just gonna eat the Croxa. Alright. Yeah, the Red Black Shadow matchup felt very good. Like both matches that we played against Red Black felt like I just felt super far ahead at every point of the game. Except when I struggled on mana, which was the only game that I lost. So I guess if you have a Red Black Shadow heavy meta game, this deck is probably okay. Also into the serving so far ahead. Yeah, really does. So the only problem that I found with this deck, honestly, is the fact that you don't... Like, playing Bubbles is kind of shitty. I would very much like to be playing 25 lands, cutting one of these Bubbles, and then maybe making room for another removal spell, another discard spell, another, like, something else, you know? But because we are building around specifically Lurrus, we're kind of forced, like, these slots are kind of forced because you have to guarantee value from Lurrus. So that makes things a little bit awkward. The core of the deck is, like, it's doing something powerful, right? Like, it's doing something very reasonable. We also, whenever we do that, we could shave on the number of Thought Scours too. Like, we could still have Drown the Luck be a fine card, but like, we don't have to go all in on Thought Scours. Like, when I look at the list that Spike had sent me, where is it? Here. There definitely are a couple of things that I like a lot about this list. Number one is the access to, like, Spell Snare and, like, Shadow Doubts. Like, this kind of, like, flexible cards help out a lot. Having access to the third Cryptic is also nice, and second Charm. The thing that I do not like is that I really feel like this deck should have another land. Against certain matchups like Shadow, the Thought Scour is not even necessary to turn on the Drown. Yeah, like, obviously, like, Drown just gets turned on with time, kind of naturally. Shark Typhoon is a very nice top end card. Like, it's okay, but it's not like, for example, I think that this deck's win conditions are worse than the other deck's win conditions, right? Like, this deck wins with Snapcaster beats and Shark beats. And I think that as a win condition, I'd rather have Lurrus, because between Lurrus and Unearth, like, you actually have a pretty solid recursion, right? So if they kill your Shark Unless you hardcast Shark Typhoon, but that's such a wishful thinking play, right? Like hardcasting Typhoon is kind of wishful thinking for this deck in particular. 3 Shadow, that is cheeky. I mean, I do get the idea, right? Like Shadow Dog is pretty good right now. Like you get to really blow out the Omnath deck, you get to blow out AmuLIT, you get to blow out so many decks. So maybe 3 is not the number. Maybe you should be playing 2. But like having some number of Shadow Doubts seems pretty strong right now. Like this is obviously the first card that you cut whenever you're getting paired against Burn or Prowess stuff like that. Those are not the matchups for Shadow Doubt, but that's where you bring in the other cards like the Gusts and stuff. So yeah, definitely there's like different ways to go about it. My viewing experience was that you cycle a Typhoon or 2 early, and if it wasn't enough to win the game, you were hardcasting on turn 20 after you ground them in fine powder. Yeah, that's possible, but at that point, if you're grinding them down, you don't need to hardcast the 3rd Typhoon anymore, right, Squee? You just cycle the Typhoon again, and you win with that 1 Shark. Tapping out is a cost, right? Tapping out is a pretty big cost. So if I were to play a deck like this, I would definitely make some changes. I think I want to make. I think I do like the Lurrus shell though, but I kind of would like to have access to. Can we just cut a bubble? It seems crazy though, right? What if we cut the Thoughtseizes? We cut the Thoughtseizes, that makes room for an extra Cryptic, and maybe the 4th push, which should make us better against the creature decks. Also, if we can feed the 2nd Charm in the main deck, that would enable us a sideboard slot, which would be nice. Cut a bubble? This seems like ludicrous. Just not playing 4 bubbles. Yeah, I don't think I have the guts to do that. Necrogen Spellbomb. Nah, I think that's just too cute. Like it's too bad of a card. Necrogen Spellbomb, that is. It's just too bad of a card. Like all of the cards that we're playing here are just like fine cards, you know. No, bubble costs 0. Like very big difference between 0 mana to cycle and 2 mana to cycle. Like that's too much of a difference. Scour is awful. I agree, but Scour turns Drown the Lock into low-key broken, and into the story into like straight up GG's. So I understand. Like I don't like Scour either, but like what am I gonna play instead, right? I want to enable these cards, and Scour is just a fine card that you can just flash back with Snapcaster Mage. Cut a Scour, play a Snare. I mean, we're already at 61 cards, and Scour hits land drops, Snare doesn't. So we saw the mana situations that we run into in this league, right? I think now we just have to do this. I'm thinking if I want something else against like the Omnath nonsense matchup. How can we beat the Omnath nonsense? Opt Serum. Like you're giving me still very bad cards. That's my issue. I feel like the synergies with Scour in this deck make it significantly better than both Opt and Serum Visions. I think both of those cards are just not playable in Modern unless you have synergies to go with them. But that's why I'm playing Scour, because Scour has synergies with my deck, while Optin Serum Visions have synergies with like Storm, right? Can you cut a Force for another land? I don't really want to cut a Force. Yixlid Jailer is kind of interesting. That's what Spike had in his sideboard, but Yixlid Jailer... It doesn't stop Lurrus, right? It stops Snapcaster Mage, though. I think that, like, I really wish we could go up a land, but I think that in this shell, because we're playing Lurrus and we want 4 bubbles, we simply cannot go a land. And if we want to go up a land, we have to cut a bubble, but that is just like cutting my Lurrus value. Like, we have literally 2 ways to get value from Lurrus, which has been enough. But I don't know if we want to be cutting on that, you know? Some JC90 think of the follow. So I think the main deck is okay. How does this deck win? No trolling. Lurrus beats and Snapcaster beats. That's literally what it is. Jailer does not stop Snap. Yeah, right? Because like the cards in the graveyards lose all abilities, and then you like nothing. You cannot flashback anything. So it does. Like you're giving a card flashback, but that card doesn't do anything when you flash it back. Cards lose, but then it gains. What? Is that true? That's such a weird interaction. I want a card for... Oh, Dispute. Let's go with Dispute. Okay, so I'm gonna try this out, see what happens. That's gonna be it for this league, though. Thank you so much for checking it out, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. We're gonna play another one with this deck, another casual 3-hour league. Don't worry about it. See you later.